Here we go. This song is dedicated to both Carlito and Manny. Okay.
I love it already.
All right. Hello out there. We're on the air. It's construction life tonight. Tension grows. The whistle blows. The crew goes home for the night. It's green book talk and code book shock, and the fans all go insane. Carlito roars. Manny swore. It's construction life tonight. Oh, the good old contractor's game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old contractor's game.
I love it. I love it.
Wish, thank you very much, man.
Oh,
Wow.
That was amazing, honestly. That's an original.
Thank you, Stompin' Tom Connors.
Wow. So can you write our next song?
You guys can have this for...
we can use it?
You can use it
We
for
want to use
whatever rights we need to sign off
That
on.
was amazing.
I was going to actually sing the actual song, then I thought, shit.
No,
you
this
know.
is so
this is
much
better.
better.
Of course, I'm going, I have to rewrite this. I can rewrite this for Manny and Carlito.
And it was very well rewritten, man. It's actually perfect. So, Wish, you must be listening to our show.
I do. I'm a avid listener. I've listened to I've listened to all 12 shows.
Perfect.
It's good that we're working on the 13th one right now.
Lucky number 13 for me.
For the year.
We are on location. We're at Wish's home.
That's right. Yeah.
And we're going to talk.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for bringing us in. And we actually want to do more of these kind of on location shows because we want to get to meet more people outside of.
But there's a problem.
What's the problem
Whenever there's
there?
food and you never talk.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's plenty of booze here and there's plenty of food here, and I'm happy about that, okay?
Did you guys have dinner after work?
No, we
No.
didn't.
I flew
That's
here.
why this is amazing. It's
Then
perfect.
eat up, man.
Hour and a half
Thank you
to get
very
here.
much.
Welcome to the QEW.
Yeah, I know.
No, there wasn't that much for me. So we are talking to Wish. So I want to just get some creds here. Basically, it's Wish List Home Improvements.
Correct.
And online on IG, it's wish_list_home_improvements. And then your phone number is 905-515-5148. And then the website is www.wishlist.ca.
Correct.
And then the email, you're going to love this one, Carlito. wishloveswood@yahoo.com.
Get your dirty mind out of there.
I totally go there right away.
Wish loves wood.
When I got that email and I told all the ball team my new email, they're going like, "What is that fucking pornos? You make pornos?"
Try hardcore renos and doing a Google search 12 years ago.
Yeah. But you know what? It worked out, and I had that email before I had the business, and it fell into place.
But it's so important for people to remember. And it's so easy to remember that.
yeah.
What are we going to talk about, Wish?
We're going to talk about everything contracting, first of all, but I think all the good stuff, startup, how I got my start, and all the stuff.
Because you're a young guy.
I'm a young guy. And all the stuff that you post on your stories, the branding, marketing, your image, your employees, and your client. What's the word I'm looking for? Relationship.
I was going to say fiascos.
I've been pretty lucky there.
So we're going to talk a lot about really the construction life is what we're going to talk about.
That's right.
Which is amazing. But I want to begin with, Carlito, do you have a bone? Do we want Wish to give us a bone, or what's going on here?
I did want to say that we had someone pass today.
Yeah.
Van Halen.
Eddie Van Halen. Exactly. I saw that news.
Let's dedicate this show to Eddie Van Halen.
I just wanted
65.
to mention that my wife's favorite guitarist. So that's unfortunate to hear today. But construction bone. Why don't we ask you? You've got to have a construction bone.
Construction bone.
Nothing recent?
The only one that really sticks out to me, and I don't know. Sorry, ESA inspectors. You know what? They walk in the house, not even knocking, chest out, ego out. I don't know. It's
Why? Why did they do that?
Authoritative figure. I don't know. They can shut you down so they feel good. I don't know, but
They're like Border Patrol officers.
Worse.
The thing,
Carlito said that.
The thing that pisses me off the most is they give you a window, okay, for your Schluter heated floor. You got to get that inspected. You got it laid out. You're ready to tile. When do they come?
Afternoon.
4:00. Fucking, you lost a day.
But you know what the funny part is? Every time I do a Schluter floor, my electrician does everything. They never show up and they pass it.
Yes.
It
It's
depends
so
on the
bizarre.
relationships that you have, right?
Exactly.
Honestly, the last 100 Schluter radiant heat flooring,
They phoned it in?
I have not seen one. They just call it in. They say they may show up tomorrow. If not, don't worry about
and
it.
my electrician's getting to that point with his relationships, and it's starting to happen. A few times it's been pictures.
Yeah, well, we
snap
take
a picture.
So in today's digital age, why can't we have a digital documentation of things? Why do we have to have this window why can't we just send this email of a photograph or even a video clip?
Well, it could be probably farce still.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it could be the same house each time type of thing.
I think maybe you got to do a picture where you're, I don't know,
I don't
incorporating a newspaper and a date or something like that, like a little terrorist picture.
Yeah.
Terrorist, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Good choice, Manny.
But yeah, the electricians that have been audited wherever they get the automatic pass, they still pay the $200.
Is that really fair?
No, I don't think so.
Because you're only as good as the job that you're currently working on. But if you've done amazing work and all of a sudden the ESA gives you this pass because you've done so many great jobs, but what if you want to just slip? You want to just slip. I'm in a hurry. I want to get it over with, get it out of here. And I don't do a good job on that particular one.
Yeah, and then you should. I mean, they should be there.
But you know what? We were talking about this the other day. We're talking about single phase and like single and dual, like 240 or 110. A lot of people don't realize it, but they might be putting too much radiant heat flooring into a washroom, not realizing it needs a 240.
Yeah.
So I think it really is important because we still have too many guys getting into this business that are making money and they're happy, but they're not following the rules.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mean like people on TV?
There's more people outside of television doing that, Manny.
Carlito, I did a project after a Homes on Homes project.
No. He was just
Here
telling
in
me about
Burlington.
that off
Yeah.
mic.
Is it recent?
No, Holmes did that probably in about 2011, 2012. And it's the one, if you remember, where the furnace venting was teed off with the fireplace venting.
I remember that one.
Yeah. So they were both...
I think the lady was a police officer, was she not?
no, she was a teacher.
Teacher?
Yeah.
I did
It
so
was
many
here in
shows.
Burlington. Anyways, yeah. So anyways, they had Holmes do their repairs.
On a show or outside of it?
No, on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a basement fireplace that was vented along with the furnace into the one. And they called me in to fix all your fuck-ups, but...
Wow.
No, I'm only kidding. No, it was something totally different, but they told me. And they said it was a good experience. They just wish that they had more say in the finishes.
They had no say?
I think they had no say. I don't.
Is
I
that
think
generally how it was?
I think that's a good thing for us.
Yeah.
We'd never get anything done.
No, absolutely, absolutely, right. So,
But that was a long time ago. Were you
That was a long
you were
time
still
ago.
on the show at that point?
I was, but we did have the crews split up because we had so many projects. We were doing like 36 houses a season.
Yeah, wow.
So if you could imagine like to keep working 36 projects
Absolutely.
with a group
Yeah.
of 6-7 guys
Yeah.
and girls, we had to split up and get all these projects done, right? And this is a good point to talk about that. Unfortunately, we would take on people that would say to us that they're a certain person, they're a respected company.
Are you saying
And
that they lie?
what I find is that a lot of guys that would come on, you wouldn't see them a second time because they weren't the people they said they were.
Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about the trades?
Yeah. So you got to be careful. And that even goes for me. Like, for example, if Manny's my customer and I send you in to do something, you most likely will do 100% job. But if I just step out of it and I leave you with Manny, you may not do the same job that you would do with me overseeing it. Because your expectations, your standards are different, right?
right.
That's why I've said you're only as good as the job that you're
So,
currently on.
I know you love picking on the show.
I do. Hey, hang on a sec. Wish is the one that brought it up. I didn't bring it up. I am quiet about this.
But you fuel the fighters.
I do not. I do not.
I just wanted to give you the 6 degrees of separation you and I,
I love
had.
it.
Yeah,
Well, we are a part of town here outside of the
Yeah.
Toronto area that
Yeah.
has quite a population of people from the show.
Yeah,
That's all.
this-
So
this
that's how
whole
it all
neighborhood's
connected.
full of 'em, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good.
How come I wasn't on the show?
You never wrote in.
I never wrote it.
I think you're. I
but-
think you're too good, Wish.
But I do want to say that the Burlington area has been my favorite for high-rise condos.
That's
Is that right?
fascinating. How
Yeah.
about we do a show about Wish? So that's the construction
I
bone.
don't like condos.
I love them.
I can't stand condos.
I did 1 or 2, never again.
I've done one.
I've never.
I just
again.
need one, and I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I know Carlito loves them.
I
I love them.
Well, you know what? You have your niche, right? So
I love them all. I love
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
commercial, residential, and high-rise. But Teach his own.
Well, the condo that I did, they told me I couldn't park my trailer on their parking lot. I had to park it on the street. And how the hell is that efficient?
It's not. How long of a walk was that to get a screwdriver?
It never happened because we were there for a bathroom. So we were there for 2.5 weeks or so. But on like second last day, then I'm going like, forget it.
Is that your stomach?
No, I think you have a lion in the house. He's growling at the front door.
Oh, my dog.
We have Biscuit there growling at the door.
Yeah, it's unfortunate about parking in buildings,
yeah.
but that's one of the stipulations I'll put in. I'll make sure that the homeowners or the condo owners will always pay any parking tickets to my trailer or my vehicle.
Yeah.
Back to
Again,
Wish.
exactly. So that was our construction boom, and I guess first, Carlito, what are we doing first? We're back on track, by the way. We're back on track.
So let's get to history with Manny.
Wish.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you. Carlito might know this because it is in his wheelhouse.
Oh my God, here it goes again.
The origin of drywall. The very first use of gypsum in construction.
Good one.
How far back are we talking? And I'm just going to give you guys a hint. Way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
Way back.
Before the Egyptian days.
gypsum.
Carlito again.
Was this on another show?
No. So the Egyptians, 3700 BC, was the first use of gypsum in construction. Gypsum is what they used it, right? So they used blocks.
8-foot sheets, 10-foot sheets.
No, it wasn't. Corkscrews. No. It was gypsum blocks over woven straw lath.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
That's what they used, right? But, okay, so now let's get into modern day drywall.
What a second. They're actually still ahead of us. Because if
it was aliens that made Egypt. Okay, that's a whole other podcast.
Modern drywall?
Modern day drywall, when was it invented?
I'm going to say 30s or 40s.
1916.
Wow.
In the U.S., Gypsum Corporation, a company that vertically integrated 30 different gypsums and plaster manufacture companies 14 years prior, but it created it for homes to protect them from urban fires. Wow. So we all know that drywall has this fire rating on it.
Oh, so this is interesting.
That was the primary purpose behind developing gypsum. It was that fire rating to urban fires.
The wood was drying up so fast it just catch on fire. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I guess when did we start using drywall instead of plaster?
I'm going to say 40s.
You were right with the 30s.
30s.
So it was the 30s, right?
And that is a shame, by the way.
Why?
What I've learned about lime, I mean...
I know.
It cleans
but it's
your
too
air.
expensive. It's too expensive these days. That's the thing about it, right? Yeah. But yeah, that is fascinating. That all the way back to the Egyptians, the aliens, and then all the way back into the turn of the century.
The Egyptians, magicians.
Listen, there's no way those buildings could have been made with the tools that they had back then. There was no
I'm all
DeWalt.
with you. I'm all onto the aliens, man. I love.
Well, since you guys are all agreeing, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Are you?
Yeah, my
You
mother
believe
says
it or not?
my mother says stay away from religion and politics, but I will go right to science. Facts are facts.
All right, so that was.
That was history with Manny.
Let's get on with the show. So, Wish.
Yes, sir.
How long you been in construction?
I'm into my 12th year.
12th year.
12th year, yeah.
What were you doing before?
I was in the metal fabrication industry. I built automated machinery.
Wow.
Hence this nice big scar in my arm.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's like 200 stitches.
My arm was crushed in the scissor lift table that collapsed on me.
No way.
Oh, fuck.
What was the arm doing in there?
I was taking the machine apart because I was missing one little hole that we had to re-drill.
And it just dropped?
No, I was taking it apart. It was a scissor lift table with a turntable on top. I took off the Timken nut underneath. Lunchtime came. I had a hoist on the table. I was trying to take it off. It was just a tight fit. Went for lunch, came back, and I go, shit, did I take that nut off? And I put my hand under. At that same time, I jogged the hoist, and it collapsed on my arm.
Wow. Oh, my God.
And it just crushed it here. I mean, I was stuck. The boys were trying to get me out. I was in the hospital for a week. I saw the inside of my arm. Absolutely awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, anyways, I was in that industry, the metal fabrication industry. So I had measurements and building and all that behind me.
There's a lot of
micrometers.
Thousands
of an inch.
Wow. And that's how we do drywall.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Could you imagine that? That's 1/1000th of an inch out.
Actually, my lead carpenter, Sean, they're doing their own kitchen now, and his dad is a millwright. and they were doing the drywall, and Sean and his brother kicked his dad off because he was putting the drywall onto a 1,000 inch.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a little bit of space.
Yeah. Absolutely. They kicked him out. They told him to go
He's
downstairs.
just looking for quality. That's all he's looking for.
Well, it had the right attitude.
So I was in that industry. That was during the auto recession. Probably in like 09, 08, 09.
Oh, the recent one where
they're buying them all out, or the government was helping them all out, and we were building for the automotive industry. I saw the end coming. Out of 50 people, I was number 6 left. I knew I was going to lose my job. What am I going to do? I have a woodworking shop downstairs. I piddled in woodworking. I'm a homeowner. I can do flooring. I can paint. So what do? I'm going to make a little business card, and I'm going to do some handyman shit. I lost my job on the Friday. The following Friday, I had my first job, and it never stopped.
Wow.
What was the first job?
A little plumbing repair leak.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it. Right?
$500.
No, that was stupid. Then it was $50.
Oh no!
Now you know. Now you know better.
Now-
That was just the material.
Yeah. So I did that for the summer. So I was collecting I hope CRA isn't listening. I did. I was a trunk slammer. I think was they called it, right? I was doing little cash jobs on the side. A little bit of woodworking here
Gotta
and
start
there.
somewhere.
And somebody said, "Hey, can you do a bathroom?" I'm going, yes. I thought I
But
could.
you have no idea how to
But
do
I
it?
had no idea. So I'm coming into the biz really
Not ours, not mine. Yours.
client. Where was I? Yeah, so
You were coming into business cold.
Yeah, so it was coming. People were giving me more and more work. Still handyman stuff. I was doing okay. Then somebody said, "You know what? Why don't you start your own business?" And I'm going, "I don't know nothing about that." And they go, "Well, the government helps you out." I enrolled in this government program called SEB, which was fucking fantastic.
Is it
And
still around?
I hope it is. So anybody listening that's
What does
looking,
it stand for?
self-employed benefits. I had to go through about 5 different venues. I had to get accepted by this one, and they sent me to that one, and they sent me to that one. Each time, what's your plans? What's your plans? I want to start a contracting company. When I got into this SEB program, there was 40 of us in this room. This lady comes in. She says, "Congratulations, you've all been accepted. What I want to do is have each one of you stand up, introduce yourselves, and tell me what your business goals are." This lady stands up. She says, "Oh, my name's so-and-so. I want to open up an East Indian food store." She says, "Where?" She goes, "Oh, Highway 5 and 10 in Mississauga." She goes, "You know how many stores are there at Highway 5 and 10 that are East Indian and all this?" And she goes, "No." She goes, "You know how much rent is?" She goes, "No." She says, "Get the fuck out of here. You're wasting our air." This lady went into tears, left the room.
That's exactly how she spoke.
What?
Yeah, scared the shit out of everybody in there. Somebody else stands up with an accountant. "I want to be an accountant, blah, blah, blah." "Okay, sit down." Contractor dude stands up. "I want to be a contractor." She says, "What do you want to do?" "Oh, cutouts into basement for doors and blah, 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 this and that." She says, "Do you know the licenses you need?" He goes, "No, get the fuck out of here. You're not ready.
What?
You're not ready." And I'm like, holy shit, I'm shitting. I'm scared, right? Like, this is my life now, right?
Yeah.
I stood up like, I'm so-and-so, and I want to do this. And okay, very good. Sit down.
That was it?
That was it. Now, I'm in the program. And so they kept about 20 people in the program. It was a 3-month program, in class, marketing, business law, all that shit, right?
They're just guiding you.
They're guiding me, and they're helping you start a business. You're in this program for a year. They gave me $30,000, which was really
Wow.
EI. So basically, I had EI come into me every week, and I still ran my business. So if I had a basement and I made whatever money on it, I still got that EI check every week.
This is a grant. There's
Yes, it's a grant. It's basically just EI, employment insurance. I guess you want to call it a grant. I never had to pay it back.
You never have to pay it back.
No,
So it's
that's
basically
amazing.
a grant, right?
Yeah.
It's not a loan.
It's not a loan, but their motto is, we're helping you out because new businesses need the help.
Of
How
course.
many new businesses fail? And she even gave us the stat. 95% of new businesses don't last the first year.
Of any across the board.
Anything.
Did she have a specific on construction?
No, just
Okay.
No, it's true. That's why they give you a 3-year.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then out of those 5%, 90% of them don't last 5 years. And if you last 5 years, you probably made
Will
it.
last.
You've made it. In the year that I was in this program, I mean, after the 3-month schooling, we had to do a business plan too, by the way, which was crazy on my part because I'm not good in front of a computer or with paper. I'm all hands, right?
So we're brothers.
Yeah, you and Carlito got it.
Yeah.
For sure. I want to know from you, how did you first hear about this?
I went
do
to the
this?
EI office.
And they shared it.
I go, hey, man, I want to start a new business. What do I do? Here you go. Go see these people. I went to see them, interview. Okay, you've passed this.
There was hurdles. You had a bunch of hurdles.
That's right.
And you were just answering things correctly, or I'm assuming, honestly, you weren't trying to say the right thing. You were just being honest when you were actually going through each hurdle.
But I think contracting is a viable business.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody needs a contractor, right? How many homes are there in Canada? Holy shit.
A few.
Right? The other thing I was shocked at, too, is the people that did get accepted. I mean, there was accountants, there was a designer, there was an animal Reiki. Do you know what that is?
No.
Holistic healing, waving hands over the body.
Of a animal?
Well, if it works with
they,
a Hannibal.
they do it for humans, too. There's Reiki for humans.
Reiki. Yeah, I've had it done.
Reiki.
Really?
Yeah. And she was an animal Reiki.
So
And
she got a loan to do this?
she got accepted into the program. It's not a loan. Once
Or,
again,
sorry, a grant.
Yeah, well, you get your weekly EI while you conduct business.
My wheels are spinning right now about a number of businesses I want to start.
You have to be you had to be unemployed.
Oh.
So to be
So you have to meet certain criteria.
That's right.
Well, I'm just assuming with the whole COVID world going on right now and everybody collecting CERB, I wonder if they brought this or they still have this or are they still working with you.
I mean, geez, I hope
Our
they do
biggest
have
problem
it.
is trying to get guys on our job sites. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have the same problem, but we're having a hard time trying to find guys to get on
It's
job
funny you
sites.
say that because I've had 2 people contact me in the last month and ask me, I listened to your podcast. I know that there's a lot of people looking for work or there's lots of opportunity for young guys or even older people. I said, I don't have anyone for you because there's just a shortage of workers. Like nobody has good workers right now.
Yeah.
Like you just can't find help.
You know what? A couple of colleagues that are contractors too always have a hard time. You know what? I lucked out. I don't know what luck I have, but the 3 guys I have right now, all college trained and fantastic boys.
We know you from Jake, right?
That's right.
So he spoke highly of you and he had a great experience with you.
That's right. Yeah.
So you've been in the business less than 12 years, right?
12 years, yeah.
12 years, and you're actually mentoring guys now. And you were fortunate enough to go through this whole program. So once you got your feet grounded, did they give you a certificate? Were they happy about it? Did they acknowledge that, hey, good for you, you actually survived and now you're going to have a thriving business? Or it was just like...
No, you're on your own, man.
You're on your own,
so
that's it.
The year's up. And I had coaching every month. So once again, during that year...
Why don't we know about this, man?
You know why? Because I never collected unemployment. No, like I went to the School of Hard Knocks,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate everything you just said. To have a teacher in class not tippy-toe around someone and say, you're going to waste the rest of my students' time and you're not serious. I love that approach.
Yeah.
It's something we don't have anymore. But
Sorry,
I always
you're
had...
hearing me just digging into some food here.
I always
go
had
for it,
work,
man.
so I never went to the and maybe I should have. I would have probably had different angles.
And I hope they still have this
Opportunities.
program because anybody that's probably is looking to start up a new business. I mean, once again, it's SEB, so I don't know if it exists. The office was in Mississauga. Did he just eat your food?
No, you try to get it. It's all good.
The guillotine.
And so I had then I went in the office monthly for coaching.
Which is amazing.
That's actually good because it could reinforce you.
What's your problems, Wish? What kind of hassles do you have this month? And I had this marketing coach. She was beautiful lady. Ooh.
Free?
Yeah. She was
No,
free.
no. The service she provided was free.
Oh, I like it already. Where do I sign up?
So she was a marketing guru. She did. She worked like on Pepsi and Coke contracts, right?
Oh, wow.
So she says, "Wish, you have a unique name. You got to play off your name." I'm going. Well, it's
true.
I don't know. I have no ideas. She couldn't come up with anything. I couldn't come up with anything. When I first started, I just went by my initials, WK home services. I went to this lady's job, and I was doing some work for her, and I walk up the driveway. She says, "Oh, hi, Wish. Here's my wish list."
Ah.
I started laughing. I'm going, you know what? I love it. I'm going to take that name. I rebranded. I got a website made. I got all that, everything done, signage, whatever, wish list, home improvements. My cabinetry guy thinks it sounds like I'm a handyman still, which is fine by me.
Kind of, but no.
I don't give a shit. But you know what? The work, we don't do handyman work no more. All my projects are main floor renovations, month long, 2 months long. I can't even do any handyman work no more. But with that said, the compliments I get, people just walking down the street, not knowing my name, but they see my signage on the vehicle, say, "Hey, dude, that's a fucking cool name." And
It's a great name.
I'm going, well,
It's funny you say that, because one of the first questions I always is, "What's your wish list?" Like, I've been saying that for decades.
Yeah.
And
And
I should have grabbed it 30 years ago.
Well, I'm incorporated and it's mine now.
I
so.
know.
and actually, there was another wish list too. Before I was incorporated, and probably when I first started.
Here in Toronto area?
Yeah, he was in, I think, Brampton or somewhere. But I was here. I was quoting a guy for a small job. And I came back with the quote. And he says, "Well, I already told you so-and-so." I go, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, yeah, I talked to him." I go, "No, you didn't." He says, "Yes, I did. I got your card." He brings over a card, and it's a wish list, home improvements, but somebody else.
Oh, dum, dum, dum.
But he said, "Don't worry, the guy's 90 years old. He's probably not doing it." But I incorporated shortly after I got the name. It's mine. So
It's a great name.
He was probably a great carpenter too.
in his days with horse and buggy, right?
Yeah, but you said some really important things there. One of the most important is, we always will have the first time that we're going to do something. And you should never be afraid of it. You do a little bit of research, you figure out the kind of materials you're going to use, what's up to date, and you do it. Eventually, you will have a second or third opportunity to do it better.
yeah,
I do like in today's day of digital, I see a lot of contractors. I think most of them, I'm going to have to say like 99% of the contractors out there that are out there are being very brand conscious. They're actually paying attention to what you did in the very beginning, where you thought about something unique, because that's you. That's you as an individual. That's who you are. That's your brand. Nobody can copy it. Everybody can come up with their own. Everyone has something in their head that they can come up with.
and I think that's very important. I was at Home Depot in Mississauga. I parked beside this van. You know what the name of the company was? I hope he's not listening. Conart.
It's funny you say that, because I actually came across, I was on a job site where it's Can Do It Electrical
Can do it.
instead of Conduit Electrical.
Well,
But Conart.
But Conart, I know.
I mean, the guy's name could have been Conrad and Art, but Conart. I mean, what do us contractors have? We have a bad name, right?
Yeah.
Con artist.
It already, it conjures up the wrong image already.
well, here's another one. I thought it was fine. I worked for an insurance company at the time, B&E Construction. And I was fixing break and entries. Because
hilarious.
The doors would always get kicked in and smashed off. I'd have to replace doors.
Did you have a magnet
windows.
on the van? B&E?
Back then I had magnets. Because I lived in where I lived, you weren't allowed to have a commercial vehicle. So I would just throw magnets on and take them off afterward.
Yeah. And I think another important thing about branding is establish what you want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are strictly interior. We've done a couple of decks. We've done a couple of sheds. But lately, no. I've quoted a deck a couple of years ago, and I'm thinking, shit, I don't know what I'm quoting here. I'm sticking to what I'm good at, and that's interior. I saw another van, and I don't recall the company name. It doesn't matter. But he did landscaping and crown molding.
I've seen these vans.
That's bizarre, isn't it?
And I question that too.
What are you doing?
You have that grocery list on the side panel of the back of the van where it's like you said, landscaping, crown molding, plumbing, handyman, painting.
but if you pay attention to
It makes no
in
sense.
a rainy it does. In a rainy day, you can't do your landscaping, so go
you
do
do
some
crown
crown molding.
molding.
Maybe that's why he came up with that.
Because I remember going through phases of things that I enjoyed doing, and I would put those on. Those are the things I wanted to do.
And maybe once again, that's where you start, right?
Yeah.
And I think where I started, once again, I think I almost did everything that I was comfortable with, and then you just morph into where you are. And that's the other thing I think for young guys too, like Jake, he's doing the right thing. He went to school.
Yeah.
He gained the experience. He knows what he has to do. He learned it all. He knows what equipment he needs. He knows what he knows everything to do to start your own business. And good luck, Jake, by the way. It will be tough, but you will have fun.
You'll have ups and downs.
Where a guy like me came in with really no experience, no guidance. Well, I had the SEB, but they didn't guide me in contracting. So every little job I went to, I was scared shitless. But I did good. So I had a talent, and I knew I had a talent.
You were trial and error in it. You're trying to figure out.
Yeah, right. So
Did you ever turn to TV or the web? I'm not jobbing at the Bear.
Yes. And you know what? And Manny, I know you're not going to like this, but I think I learned a lot from Homes on Homes.
I honestly have said
I did too.
in the first year or two.
But you did it on the job. I did it from TV.
But I was telling Manny this. I ran a successful business. I had 10 guys high-rise window cleaning. I had 30 guys working for me. We were doing demolition, co-op buildings, residential. I was doing it. We were doing really well. When I got on the show, I didn't realize that I wasn't learning or adapting or changing. And it opened my eyes up to education, which I just forgot about that because no one complained to me. I never heard about callbacks, but that doesn't mean that they weren't there. It just means that we're not contacting me. And when I first got on there, I thought I was going to be the cat's meow. And I soon realized I was behind. And I had so much fun catching up and learning. So it doesn't matter where you get your knowledge from, if it's TV or a magazine or sitting down with someone.
Let me ask you a legitimate question, Carlito, just for a second. Did you guys feel that you had to try to say the correct things because a spotlight was on you? Like the same way contractors, how you get to a certain level and people expect that you should already know this or you should be using the latest and greatest. Did you guys have that feeling?
I think on some extent I did, but I also think I was forward with people. And if I told them, hey, I don't think I feel comfortable with this, I'd tell them.
And they appreciated it.
And they'd appreciate it. We need you need somebody to sand and stain your floor. I think you should call actually a company that does that.
Now, I'm a little bit more open-minded than the two of you. Manny has particular materials. He will not veer from them. He has certain trades. He will not change them.
No, that's not true. I'm working with new guys now.
You are slowly, only because your favorite trades are so busy and you're growing. So you have to adapt and move forward with new people and try them.
I just like
you still have to give people opportunity.
Your sandwich board says wish list on it.
I got everything wish list again.
Sorry, I interrupted Carlito as I do.
Where were we?
And that's a golf green, by the way.
It is.
It is.
No, sorry, you were talking about trades and
What were we saying just before that?
I don't know.
I'm hungry.
But that cheese is good.
I'm watching you guys eat. I'm digging in.
All right, a slight pause now. Actually, this is a good time for a pause. So what's our next segment there?
It would be Green Book Talk.
No, it's building code talk, man.
Oh, you want to do that now?
Yeah, we always do that at the halfway.
Okay. Building Code Talk with Manny.
We are staying on the topic of drywall. You guys are probably going to know this, but I'd be surprised if you're not. What is the fire rating on a 1/2 inch thick drywall? How long?
Fire rating on a 1/2 inch drywall.
1/2 inch, not 5/8.
Not 5/8.
Not 5/8.
45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him. 45 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Wow.
And what is it on 5/8?
60 minutes.
60 minutes, yeah.
That extra 1/8 of an inch gives you a 68 rating. So then I'm also going to ask you guys, for residential homes, it's 1/2 inch drywall. Condos would have to be, which ones?
5/8.
It
No,
says
it's
half
1/2 inch.
It says 1/2 or 5/8, depending on the framing and what's requested.
And
per
demising
plan.
walls.
Yeah,
Because they're concrete.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be in a residential rental unit that it'd have to go to double 5/8.
Now, in some situations for fire rating, you require a 2-hour rating. How do you pull that off?
Double up your drywall.
It's a trick question. That's what it is. Basically,
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
double it up. That's all it is.
Right on.
And that was
A building code talk with Manny.
as he yams away there, and he talks about me yamming away on the podcast. So we are talking to Wish. I'm really fascinated that you started this whole thing with that program from the government that I really wish is still around.
And it might still be. I actually, before you guys came, I actually tried looking it up. I did see something, but I couldn't go any further with it.
We want to check it out. So www.wishlist.ca, Wishlist Home Improvements, and then I love the email, wishloveswood@yahoo.com. 905-515-5148, and on Instagram it's at wish_list_home_improvements. That's who we are speaking with right now. So where do you want to go now, Wish?
Well, I do want to say something.
Yes.
When I was growing up, they never allowed you to learn. There was newspapers on the window, not to keep out people from like learning, from like looking at the job, but from learning. Like nobody wanted to give you knowledge. And I remember nobody would help me. There was no opportunities. The only opportunity you would have is if you were a hardworking guy, people would let you come into their business.
You know what? And in this program, and this pissed me off, we had to do in our business plan, we had to do a few things. One of them was interview other people in the business. So I had to call contractors and interview them, ask them a few questions.
How was that?
Fucking terrible. You know,
They're
the
not
guys
forthcoming?
Oh my God, a couple of guys were like hung up on me.
Right away.
There was one guy, I wish I remember his name. He actually talked to me pretty good, and I thought, that's nice. But a couple of guys, hey, listen, I'm starting a new business. I want to ask you a few questions. No, sorry, don't got time for it. Get lost. You're going to steal my work. I don't know. I'm not going to steal your work. But
That's the number one reason I've heard over and over. They think you're going to steal their work.
Jeez.
Well, it doesn't matter even if you do steal their work, because someone's going to have to fix yours after. Yeah, it's so different now. Like I see all the tools that people have. If you can't be successful in today's time, you definitely have a problem somewhere and you need to figure it out. And I think that through over 100 podcasts, one of the most important things I can share is if you've made a mistake, don't ever do that mistake a second time. Yeah. If it doesn't work once, don't try it a second time. Move on, try something new. Don't get stubborn and try to, muscle your way through it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
That's right.
So try something new.
Absolutely.
Don't keep failing the same problems, right?
Wish, you got 3 guys working for you now?
I got 3 guys.
How did you find your guys? Did you have to go through a bunch of guys to find those good apples?
Yeah, you know what? I've probably, in the 12 years, I've had about 12 from Mohawk College. And I found them. First one was a friend of my next door neighbor's. And when he left, he referred me to a classmate. When that classmate left, I went back to the college and called the instructor and said, hey, you got any graduating guys, anybody you recommend? And then I hired a couple of more. My lead carpenter's now, Sean McVeigh, from that course. When he sent me his resume first time, I didn't even hire him. But then I held on to him. Oh, because I had another guy.
You weren't ready for him?
I wasn't ready for him. Then the other guy quit because of logistics. Then I called Sean. I said, you working? No, come on by. So he's been with me now for 7 years.
Wow.
That's a good run.
That's an amazing run.
And fantastic kid.
That's family.
You're talking, it is family. You know what? He's such a good kid. I think he didn't swear in front of me for the first year, Manny.
I want to ask you, why do the kids stay? You create a certain environment.
I think so. You know what? I've worked in that job I told you about beforehand. I worked for an asshole. This guy treated.
But it didn't rub off on you.
Well, I saw it, and I said, "How can you treat people like that?" And I thought, you know what? If I'm going to have
easy.
Yeah, I know. and you know what? It's not that if I had a shitty employee, which I really didn't, but this guy was just awesome, and I treat them all nice, and you know what? With respect. I mean, I'm still a boss if they fuck up, which they really don't. So once again, just so lucky. Everything fell into place with these guys. Now, he brought a friend in. Sean, we need somebody else. Do you know how I got any friends? Yeah, I got a buddy that went to Niagara College. Okay, he came in. And then this guy came in. And right now, let's go back to even Jake. With Jake, all 4 guys lived within 1 square kilometer of each other, all in the same area, Hamilton Mountain. They had 6 degrees of separations. Girlfriends knew each other, stuff like that. They play hockey together. They golf together now, with me too. sometimes. So
That could be bad.
I got to ask you, I mean, okay, so these guys, did they have a parent or an uncle or somebody in the family that was in construction? Or are these those lone guys that, because I'm seeing a lot of guys that are the first in their family.
For example, Sean, his dad was a millwright, so there was
Okay.
a trade there. Colin, no, I don't think his dad was, but he just went to that.
So they had the bug for the construction.
Yeah, Matt went to Mohawk for cabinetry, and he worked for my cabinet guy. And he called me one day and said, "Wish, I'm leaving. Do you want to hire me?" And I'm going, "Of course. We just have to find a way to not upset the cabinet guy owner." Who was a buddy of mine too. And we leveled with each other. And he came over and he's
Communication, man.
and we have fun at work. You know what? The guys all get along. And Sean really runs the project. I'm basically off the tools, but I'm there every day. I'm actually the gopher now.
You're the manager.
I'm the manager.
Nothing wrong with that. You save a lot of time and money that way.
Yeah. All right. I often thought about rental run, but I'm thinking I'm not doing nothing. So
You know what? But it's also, I like going to stores myself.
yeah.
These days, I do not.
Yeah,
The lineups are insane.
I'm in and out. What's important for me is that even though these are, stores that are holding products, and selling them for those companies, I always get to see newer products that I may not be aware of. And I'm talking about small mom
He
and pop
wants
stores.
to look at some tools in the tools section.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all
that
you
too.
wanna do,
That's
okay.
definitely. But you know what? That's also fuel to energize you to make more money. When you have a goal
Yeah.
or a wish,
Yeah.
you have to accomplish it, right?
We'll get into all this. We'll eventually get into all this. But you brought up a really good point, Wish. I actually want to find out, how do you draw that line between, because it sounds like you create a certain environment, which is that kind of family environment.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you draw that line from professionalism to the family? Like, you're my buddy, we go golfing, but we have to work. But if you mess up, I'm your boss. How do you do that?
I've thought about that, but in all honesty,
They don't get lazy? They don't take advantage?
I've never run across a problem.
I think what you're.
Where
I
do
think
you find
just,
these guys?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm so lucky compared talking to all my other colleagues that do that. They got shit. And Carlito, you've said it on the shows. You've had 100 fucking employees.
And he's fired them all.
I lucked out. So honestly, I lucked out. These guys are young, talented, good-looking, non-smoking.
Good looking helps.
Non-smoking.
Non-smoking.
That's amazing.
Where are you finding these people?
Here's a scenario that really sticks to my mind. Sean was heading off a bathroom project. The homeowners had 3 young girls at home. They trusted Sean totally. We were done. The glass people were coming in to put the glass in, and we were finished. And she says, can we have Sean come over and, just be there while because I don't trust anybody else with and I'm thinking, that was total trust factor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
There's a serious comfort there that a lot of people are nervous about.
But like I said, these are special guys, all of them. Sean, Colin, Matt. Sean's brother, Connor, he's my part-timer. He was actually there today, first time in a while. So,
But I think your success also is, and you've said it subconsciously a few times now, honesty. You've said honesty and honestly so many times that I think that's your secret. You've been honest with them. They've been honest with you. You can't fail with that.
No.
When you have an honest relationship, there's no hiding. There's no beating around the bush. It's how it is, and it's so easy to move forward.
True. And you know what? Moving forward, I even have an exit strategy, and Sean's going to take over.
That is an amazing
How young are
exit
you, Wish?
strategy.
Sorry?
How young are you?
60.
You're 60.
I started my business in my 50th year.
Wow.
So
That says a lot, man. Because that's got to be, at 50 years old, you're thinking, holy shit.
I lost my job. What do I do?
So you're one of those guys at that holy shit moment in your life, after you crush your arm,
Yeah.
and you start a construction company. Now you have a successful construction company, and you've got great guys, young guys, that are already going to take it over.
Yeah.
I find a lot of the young guys don't want to take it over because their egos are taking over, and they don't want to take over someone else's business or brand that they built. They want to build their own brand.
Yeah.
I know, but
And-
how hard is it going to be to replace Wish? It's going to be very hard. Like, just the name alone, like when you carry that, I had a customer call me from 20 years ago the other day, and they just wanted something simple, but that's my customer for 20 years. And when you create a good business, a good name, a relationship, you'll always have that. It's worth money.
But Sean's there by my side.
Yeah.
So when they see me, they see Sean. Maybe not during the first initial visits or something, but I will bring that into when we're ready to actually make the switch over. But he's going to take over the name. All my clients are going to know him. They all do know him.
That's perfect, man.
You know.
I think that's what we are all aspiring to do.
And you know what? It came across a couple of years ago when Jake was still with me, because I actually offered both of them the company. It was basically, I'm nothing without you guys. I'm getting to the point where I'm getting fucking tired of this shit. I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
we love it.
Yeah. I love it, but I'm burning out. Right. Yeah. I think age has got something to do with it. So,
plus, you want to live your life too.
Yeah. Now they both bought into it, but I think Jake still wanted to start his own business. He didn't want to wait until for me to leave. Sean is going to wait, right, Sean?
He's not under the table, is he?
He'll be listening. But Jake decided to move on his own. And good luck to you, Jake. It's going to be tough. And you know what? But he's got enough behind him that he should be successful.
It sounds like you gave him enough confidence to kind of make that step.
But I think the thing is you still have to build your name.
You do.
I mean, in year 4, I had Sean. I just hired Sean. I had to lay him off. For a month, I had no work, no calls,
He
no
probably
nothing.
loved it.
For the first week.
But in reality, I looked at my wife and I said, honey, what are we doing? I said, we have 2 decisions here. I pack it in, find a job, or we dip into the credit line one more time. And that we stuck with it.
You invested it back in.
I invested it back in. And you know what? I'm not religious totally, but I look at it as a sign. And I said, you know what? They just tried to test me. And ever since that day, it's been 1 employee, 2 employees, 3 employees work.
And that would have been, what, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah.
Around then.
Yeah. Well, Sean's been with me 7 or 8 years, and that was in his first year.
Well, you said something really important. Even though the guys are going to take over your company from you, and there's habit that's formed, it's repetitious. So they're doing the same thing, and it doesn't faze them. I think the most important part about running any business is saving your money, having a credit line, having a float. If you don't have those things, it doesn't matter how much of a good worker you are, how honest you are, or how great of a person, or what kind of relationship skills you have with people. If you don't have money, you're not going to pay your taxes. You're not going to pay your WSIB.
You got to be a money manager.
You have to triple your money.
Did you have a plan, Wish?
Money plan type of thing?
Did you have a plan in general? I mean, from the program, did you bring in a plan? Did you think to yourself, okay, what's first year of wish list? What's second year?
Yes, so the business plan totally entailed that. That
guided you. That helped you.
That business plan entailed 3-year forecast. So I had to predict my sales in the first year, what things cost. It was extensive, and I had to make I made it, but 3 copies had to go, 1 to them, 1 to me, 1 to the government.
How good did you hit the plan?
Actually, in my 3rd year, and I predicted sales and employees, and that hit.
Well, that's the mark, is 3 years.
That's a really good point, because I wonder how many guys on construction sites actually predict the sales they want to hit every single year. Or do we just go by the seat of our pants and going, I got a bathroom, I got a first floor, I got a kitchen, keep on going, I made money, here's the deposit, here's the next draw, here's the final payment. You guys should be thinking about a 3, 5, 6 year plan, figuring out what you want your business to do next year, this year, 5 years from now. If you don't have that plan, you can't get to it.
Yeah, and it's true. Not that I followed it all the time, but
but at least it's there.
No, Manny, you made a good point. Like, I was at the farm this weekend. I took 4 days off for myself.
How was a little vacation?
It wasn't. I have a farm. So I'm working at my farm. I've got tractors and dozers and equipment and oil changes and gas. And, you're like constantly working. Like, I'm digging rocks out, ripping logs out of the forest. And my wife's like, we're talking. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? And then I see this whole future. I see my retirement. It's fantastic for the future. But I'm working so hard. I should have been in a different place in my life. And I think it's important that the youngsters hear that you got to save that money. You got to have that retirement. So when you get to say 40 or 45, I know that's early. It's way too early.
You got to be doing it in your 20s. You got to be thinking about it in your 20s.
But it'd be nice to enjoy the world.
Yeah.
Like you should, at some point, you need to
But
enjoy
that's
life.
part of your plan too. So even if you're in your 20s,
you can still save while you're seeing the world, right?
Yeah.
You can still do a weekly
do all
deposit
that.
into
Exactly.
RSPs or anything like that, right?
So I sometimes wish I got to apologize. This turns into family therapy.
It's $80 an hour, guys. You both owe me now.
I do want to say one thing. Like, honestly, wish you laid out food, and this is great. And we only don't like. I don't do the podcast just for the food.
I do.
But I do.
Oh, and thank you for the gift.
And
Thank
also
you.
for the alcohol, which is great. But I also do want to say thank you very much for the gift.
You're very
So
welcome.
Wish has given us both. I'm gonna
Flasks.
I'll share this tomorrow. I'll share this tomorrow on social media. I'll share it and I'll.
Well, I'm
do
going to
a
have to
story.
hide it from my wife.
Why? It's empty right now. For now, it's empty.
That's how it's always going to be around my wife.
when I got those, the first one I gave away was to my daughter. Hi, Francesca.
You know what they're the best for?
What's that?
You go to a music, like you go to like,
absolutely.
Like you go to like a function where there's a concert going on, or it's always nice to just put it in there, or even at the movie theater.
During COVID, I was bringing it for my walks with the dog.
Keep the dogs away.
So no. Okay, I know you've been lucky enough, but no downs, no bad clients, no nothing. You just roll with it. You just
No, I've had probably one bad client who I did his mother-in-law's basement, and he wanted me to do his basement, but the guy micromanaged it. He had some huge ego. We left at the framing stage.
it couldn't. You guys
It
couldn't.
didn't work. It was nightly phone calls for an hour and a half. Him and his wife bitching to me about this and that. Like, he's 6'5". I can't make the basement taller unless we dig up your slab, right? But
Underpin it.
yeah. So we left, and it was such a bad relationship.
No, it's fine. Don't worry
Okay,
about it. Like,
okay.
you got a dog. We're at your house. It's totally cool.
Yeah, we had such a bad thing going that it was stressful. I wanted to leave.
And it shouldn't be. Construction shouldn't be stressful.
Shouldn't. So
I mean, you come in, you know your duties. They
Yeah.
come in, they know their duties. But if they want to micromanage,
and he got, and this was my first experience with this too. He got his own plumber, he got his own electrician, he got his own gas guy, and
we
I was going to
already
bring them
know.
all in. So now,
Failure.
Now, and I learned from that one, and that was a big failure. He criticized me because his HVAC guy didn't show up for fucking 3 weeks, but he blamed me. And I'm going, but this is your guy. And anyways, I wanted to quit. I didn't know how to quit. My nephew is a lawyer. And I said, David, how do I quit? How do I leave? He says, you can't.
you're in a contract.
You're in a contract. And I says, well, he says, the only way is mutual. And I'm going, okay.
discuss that.
So I sent this guy a text, listen, we're not going anywhere. We don't have a thing. Why don't we just say our goodbyes at this point? I'm paid up. And he sent back a text with a smiley face.
And that was it.
And that was it. My tools were already gone because spray foam was the next thing. We took all our tools and everything out. And
He sends back a smiley face.
Yeah.
That says something to me about therapy. You might want to contact him, Carlito.
Now, to take this story a little further, he put a bad review on me in Homestars. Homestars.
We don't care about Homestars.
I hate Homestars. I fucking,
And
what?
this show's brought to you by Homestars. No, it's not.
Homestars calls me up. Wish, you have a bad review opened up in your name. Do you want to assume this account? I'm going, what do you mean? I never opened up an account, blah, blah, blah. She says, yeah, your client did this. And I'm going, well, hold on a sec. Let me read this and call me tomorrow. I went on Homestars. I read it. And I'm going, this guy lied every which way. And I says, I have the emails to prove it. I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. We, what we can do is run a campaign to drown him out. I go, what do you mean? Well, we can get 10 good reviews, and that bad review will fall at the bottom. Wow. I go, how do I do that? Well, $100 a month, sir. I go, fuck you guys.
My God.
Wait, this is news to me, man. Homestars actually does this?
Well, they do more than that. I have a couple customers that have had to go in and do work after their contractors, and they'll actually erase their so-called best drywallers or best framers.
They basically tell you that they can't do anything about it, but then they come back at you and tell you that if you pay them money, they can do something about it.
You drown them out. Now, I said to them, I go, well, can I run my own campaign? They go, yes, you can. So I emailed 12 clients and
To leave reviews.
told them the story. Straightforward. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. Can you write a review? They started pouring in, and now on Homestars, I got a 9.8 out of 10 type of thing, right? So
It's funny you bring that up because there's a supplier that I work with, and someone did leave a negative review on Facebook on their Facebook page. No, don't worry about it. Biscuit's cool. And so basically they reached out to me and they're like, we've got this bad review, but it's total horseshit, right? I mean, what can I do about it? Because apparently I'm some sort of social media genius or something like that, but I just share what I know. And I just said, hang on a sec, give me about a half hour. So I reached out to about a dozen of my trades and some people that I know, and I go, guys, leave some reviews. And all of a sudden, that one bad review got pushed right down, and it disappeared eventually.
Yeah.
People become keyboard warriors, and they feel that they're right to vent for something that's not true. You know what I mean? So you guys parted ways mutually.
Mutually.
He obviously has some issues if he's sending you a smiley face after you were professional about your texts. So he was, anticipation, he was going to do something like that. And now you have to deal with it. But that's time that you're wasting. Like there's a lot of times that you deal with clients or even sub-trades. Why do we have these conversations? We're actually literally going to get right back to where we began.
Yeah. And you know what? And the other thing too, and I did a little bit of research and I responded to his bad review very professionally, point by point, and actually clients that have read it said, you know what, I loved, I'm hiring you because
the way you responded
professional
instead of hiding from it,
hiding. I didn't insult, blah blah blah, but
you weren't a psycho.
Yeah.
Somebody has to write my reviews because I cannot post what I really want to say.
I say they just make it a black page.
You say it every Monday morning, Manny.
No, I do not.
No, it should just start with Don Cherry.
9-year run? No, 12-year run?
12-year run.
12-year run, right? And so when are you checking out? When are you going to okay, I'm tapped out?
I told Sean in 2029. So he's got a little holding on to do, you know.
Well,
never
if
know.
he's smart, he'll build the business up to be a huge empire.
Well, that's up to him. So I've already tried to build it to 2 crews, and I think you heard that from Jake. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that's when Jake left me. During that 2 crew run, I really didn't like it. I didn't like running around.
It's too much work? Too much? You know what I didn't like?
No.
My left thumb hurts from holding the steering wheel on my Sprinter van from driving all over the city.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. And the other thing I felt was because I had my pulse and one job at a time, and you heard that.
Yeah.
Which is easy to manage. But when it went to 2, it's not a huge change, but I did feel I was losing track of it, you know. And when I went to 2, then I was forced to hire
2 of everything.
Couple of other people. Now, I did have a couple employees that were subpar. I'm not going to talk bad about them, but it was subpar.
Well, not everybody jives, right?
Yeah.
It's personalities. Not everybody's on the same page.
Right.
I want to get into Green Book talk with Parlito, and then when I get back, I want to talk tools with Wish.
Lovely.
All right. So,
Tool junkie.
tools.
Was that
tool junkie?
It is time for Carlito's Green Book talk.
all right. Well, let's do something a little different here.
Oh, what are we going to do? We're going to go into second offenses or what?
No. Not yet, Manny. We still got a couple left on the list.
550.
So, he knows the game. So let's see how you
This
do.
is not a game. This is serious, okay?
It is serious. But to me, it's also a game.
And after this, I want to touch on something, okay?
Okay,
if you
perfect.
can. Go ahead.
As long as you're touching Manny. That's his wish.
Never saw that one coming.
6 feet apart.
Never saw that one coming.
Okay. Worker who may be endangered by a vehicular traffic failing to wear prescribed garment.
250.
Sorry, I had my glasses on. I should have taken them off.
250.
250?
250.
That's a 550.
550. You think not wearing your vest will be 550?
That's a 550.
It's 250.
All right, that was Carlito's Green Book talk.
Hey, wait a
And
second, guys. Make sure you wear your vests.
We are talking with Wish from www.wishlist.ca. Wish List Home Improvements, and Wish Loves Wood at yahoo.com, 905-515-5148. On IG, it's at wish_list_home_improvements. Give him a follow. Reach out to him. Actually, get a job from him. Mm-hmm. You still hiring? No? Not yet?
Actually, I'm bringing in a high school co-op kid.
Really?
Yeah.
What school? What high school? Do they have a shop class?
I think so. It's actually Sean's cousin. So they're doing co-op, and the school contacted me. They wanted to know my COVID protocol, and I sent it in, and I don't know when he's starting, but hey, free labor. Right?
Really?
So
I like free labor.
So, I mean, I don't give a shit if he doesn't do anything. Just sweep up and sit there. Go get our coffee.
He's going to learn something.
He will. So,
Yeah.
I mean.
You know what? That's the biggest, most valuable lesson is keeping a site clean. Like,
huge.
you're making a joke about it, but that...
Do you not work better when the site's clean?
Oh, of
Absolutely.
course.
Do you not all trades work better when the site's clean?
Absolutely.
But it doesn't even matter what a customer sees in your work or you being on time. As long as you're clean, they'll always love you.
You know what? How many compliments I get and some of the reviews on our cleanliness. That's me. I like
That's
to
huge.
do it, right? So that's huge. And we've gotten a couple of jobs because of that, referrals, cleanliness. Actually, I tell clients that we follow the 5 C's. Clean.
Carlito?
Clean, code compliant, courteous, caring, and cute.
Do you know what, though? I'm not even joking. I hate saying this, but
He's going to start the 6 C's.
if you are a good-looking person, for some reason you get better opportunities.
That's back to family
Did you
therapy.
hear him? Well, yeah.
And you know what? And that going back to image now. I think that's important too. Image, right?
Totally.
You like Manny, once again, on all your stories and all that about the customer thing. You got to have signage. You got to look clean. You got to do this and that.
No track pants?
No track pants.
Hey, whoa. You guys that don't have track, you mean track pants are bad, but at job sites that have no safety boots or helmets?
No track pants.
No helmets?
The current project that we're on right now, the guy hired us strictly because we worked right across the street from him a couple years ago.
And he paid attention.
And he paid attention, and he said, you guys came in every day at 8 o'clock. All of you guys had wish list T-shirts on, and you left at 4:30. No
That's
smoke.
paramount.
And I said, oh, did you go across and see the job and all that we did? No. Did they refer you? No. I just saw that, and I said, I need to have you guys.
Wow.
I tell people all the time, someone's watching. Someone is always watching.
Somebody's watching
this
you.
ain't the 80s, right? But I'm telling you right now, on digital, in person, on site, they see your van, they see you, the way you set up your shop, the way you set up your job site. Someone is watching, and someone will hire you because of something that you did. Be
That's
a nice
important.
person wherever
That's
you go.
important, yeah.
You want to be a dick when you go to pick up supplies. Someone's watching. So it's a question of you're either selling yourself or you're unselling yourself. So someone is always watching you. So just behave. And also the guys that work for you, they're a representative of your
I
company.
told
now.
him for sure. Sean drives the company
They know.
vehicle. Sean drives the company vehicle. He knows that if somebody cuts him off or whatever, you
He
do not say
can't
nothing.
do anything about
No,
it.
he just has to lay on the air horn.
No, you can't. I know.
And
but
actually, you know what? He told me something that really is cool, and I thought it's really nice. He said, if you're ever in a road rage incident, don't give the finger. Just do a thumbs down. It's much more politer.
Yeah.
It's polite. It's, you did something wrong, but it's polite.
I like that. You were going to tell us something. You want to talk about something after
Oh,
we did the
Carlito, Green Book talk. You know what? In the 12 years that I've been in the business, nobody told me. I didn't know anything. Yes, we had a first aid kit. We had a fire extinguisher. But the Green Book shit that you guys talk about, like I got a consultant that's helping me get to all those 25 points and everything. I actually reached out to Safety Val, but
Valerie.
I'm not using her.
But as long as you're speaking to somebody, because we don't know everything.
We don't, but that's the other thing about the government. Like nobody tells you. Nobody tells you you need first aid training. Nobody tells you
They
need
just
that
tell you
height
that you're
training.
doing something wrong. That's what they tell
Right?
you.
And the fines start coming, and I've been lucky. Not even 12 years been good, but we're working on that now. We just finished our first aid. At height is next. Blah blah blah. but we're doing all that. I got my safety board going on.
We did an amazing podcast.
And that came from mostly Green
from the
Book
Green
Talk.
Book Talk. That's why I'm saying
great
it's
to hear.
serious,
Thank
man.
you kindly,
It's a
Carlito.
serious-
Wow. Well, it's
You're
a
costing me-
combination here.
you're
Just because we have names on it doesn't mean it's not all of ours.
I know. You're costing me more money, Carlito.
No, you're saving yourself money.
My colleague,
You're saving
buddy
yourself
of mine,
money.
his employee cut his thumb on the table saw, $12,000 fine.
$12,000 fine?
Yeah.
That's a $12,000 thumb.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I asked him, I said, what did you get fined for? Because I was thinking about, did you get fined because you didn't have this and that, the 550 and all that came up. He didn't know. He just said, no, I just got a bill for $12,000.
I was saying this to Manny at all my sites. I do tailboard talks first thing in the morning. Anyone that comes on my site, I automatically make them sign that tailboard. And in that tailboard, it says, wear your helmet, wear your safety boot. And if you choose not to, it's showed that I am educating and really actually telling people to do these things. And when the ministry comes in, they almost literally will not even speak to me. They'll just go to the person that caused the problem or didn't have the helmet on, and they'll only get charged.
But isn't it also true, though, that if you're the GC or the site super, that you're still going to get ticketed?
Depends on what you've done.
If you told them what to do
if-
and they don't do it, you still not get ticketed?
you have a better opportunity of not getting a
Disputing
ticket.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're leading to a great point. If someone's not listening to you and they're not following the rules, and there's trades out there that will tell you, I've kicked painters off for not having work boots on.
Safety boots, yeah.
And they're like, are you crazy? And I'm like, no, you are for not wearing them at my site. Bye.
I joke with Carlito, but it is valuable information because the thing is, something happened on one of my sites this week, and I actually reached out to Carlito and I asked him, I go, what's the deal with this? What can happen to me? And I didn't know that if you're quick cutting without a hose and you're creating that plume of dust,
Environmental pollution.
Mm-hmm. Environmental pollution fine.
$5,000.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Who's telling us this?
Nobody's telling you that. I'm asking
You're
it.
supposed to know.
No.
No, this is
that's
okay.
my beef.
So
That's my beef.
I have a CVOR because I have a big 450.
Yeah.
And the officers, whenever they pull me over, I say, "Well, that wasn't in the book when I read it." They're like, "Well, you're supposed to know."
I know. You're
So
supposed to know.
all they say is, "You're supposed to know."
You're supposed to know, and that's
Why you need to listen to the Construction Life.
So then maybe when you guys said what's your construction beef, maybe that's one of them.
There's lots of them. That's why. We have lots of them.
It'd be nice to say, I'm starting a business. Here you go. This is what you need to do.
Well,
You know what? You figure that if maybe Canada's most trusted contractor that was on TV would be sharing this knowledge, but I guess he didn't.
Well,
ever,
hey, I don't want you picking on them because there are networks involved that don't allow the really good information to be out because it's entertainment. So let's just. Anyways, I wanted to say the other day I was cutting concrete. There was no masks provided. I was doing Toronto Board of Education building. This is before they got the kids back in. They wanted a couple of walls done. So we're doing some block and concrete work. I was the only one that went to the car, got my own personal
I was just about to say that you should have your
and
own
everyone's
mask.
laughing at me. And, half an hour later, I'm watching the guys going outside horking and spitting.
Yeah.
Now they're horking and spitting on the ground. I'm like, hey, guys, I got to walk there. Go do it in the bushes. The bushes are a perfect place to do that. But then one guy's telling me, I think I'm bleeding in the throat. And I'm like, oh, you're bleeding now. Isn't that interesting? And I'm like lifting my mask going, do you need a mask?
What did you have? Voodoo dolls of these guys?
An hour. Well, when you're cutting inside, doesn't matter how many fans you have. If you're not wearing a respirator, you're done,
Just
right?
wear it.
Anyways, an hour later, and the guys are going to laugh about this when they hear it, they went and bought masks. 3M respirators, and they came back. We worked the whole day, and at the end of the day,
Really, eh?
no one was laughing at me anymore. They actually respected me for pushing them to buy the right mask, because I don't believe in paper masks. I like the respirators, right?
Exactly. All my guys have one. Hey, do you guys have air scrubbers?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Are they good?
I love them.
They work. They clean the air.
Yeah, you have to have negative. Like you have to know
You gotta
where
seal
you're going to
the
draw
area.
from.
Yeah.
They're worth it. I don't know if what's that one that's all over Instagram? The Build Tougher. Well, I can't remember what it is. The red one. I don't know if it's worth the money. I heard the filters are very expensive, but you can make. Carlito, you've made a cheapy one that works really well.
I've made a couple cheapy ones that
That
work
work
very
really
well.
well. I know.
But the customers love them. I can breathe. I do a lot of spraying, so that's why I got into it. Then I realized that if I put these in the windows and I put filters on them so that the dust isn't going outside,
Collecting it,
people are enjoying it. And, every 6 hours, I'll grab the compressor and blow all the floors and the walls, and people are like, you're crazy. And I'm like, just take your break, 10 minutes. When you come back, the environment is going to be healthy. And you know what? When we put the hardwood flooring down, there's no dust underneath it.
Yeah.
That's great. We'll get back to our guest Carlito here. I wanted to ask Wish.
Welcome, Carlito.
Okay, so Carlito, let's ask Wish, what do you think? What tool brand is Wish?
Oh, he's
okay. You got to think. He's
definitely
60.
a Makita.
Hang on, he's 60. He's Polish.
He's a Makita.
I'm gonna say Makita.
Bosch?
Are you gonna say DeWalt?
It's Makita. Or
You know what?
Bosch.
I got all kinds of brands. I mean, for our cordless drills and drivers, it's Milwaukee. But
You're
I got
red, really? Huh?
I
would never picture you red.
You know what? Once again, I started with your Home Depot rigids.
Oh, we all started. that.
Yeah.
Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, they went wayside. We decided to go Milwaukee, and I follow my employees too. So they're using it. So what do you guys want to use? We started Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I've sent them to the repair shop quite a few times. My vacuums are Festool.
Beautiful.
I got some DeWalt track saw laser.
Me too.
Cordless nailers. Bosch. I know you're Bosch. What do I got? Bosch. The chipping hammer, laser.
I think everybody's got a
laser
Bosch.
level.
Yeah.
But I got all over. Festool sanders.
So it's totally cool. There's one brand that you haven't brought up yet, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
Makita.
No, Hilti.
I've been thinking about it.
It's because he hasn't been doing heavy concrete work.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, hang on a sec. Can I
just for
buy
the
the
record-
Hilti radial saw
wait a
or
second.
the miter saw or
Just-
the table saw? Or they don't exist?
Just for the record.
Maybe the Egyptians have it.
They do. I don't have any loyalty to anyone. It really is about the tool. You know what? I have 4 different types of batteries, 4 different tools. It's a little bit bothering.
That's the only thing I'm
but-
trying to eliminate is 4 different types of
It's
batteries.
the battery platform.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
once you commit to one battery, and I'll be honest, Milwaukee's got a great battery platform.
Yeah.
They're huge, but they have a lot of power. And same with Hilti. Hilti's batteries are great. I think everybody's got great batteries.
Yeah.
So you got to commit to a certain battery platform. Once you do that, it's hard for you to switch, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
And what are you going to have? You're going to have batteries for Makita, for Milwaukee,
yeah,
for
yeah.
DeWalt, for Bosch, for everybody?
Listen, if you open up where I have my tools, you're not gonna see one company. We like having fun with it. Manny is very loyal to Bosch. He's had a great relationship.
I just like the
had
tools.
a product that's worked for him.
Do you got the Bosch miter saw, the knuckling one?
The Axial Glide.
Yeah.
I do have that.
Yeah.
The problem, okay.
Is that the little chainsaw?
No. That's the one it's not rails.
It's not rails. It knuckles. It's like an elbow.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've
okay,
seen
right,
it.
right,
You've seen it. You used it.
Yeah. For your deck job.
Is that good?
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
But I'll be very honest. It's not designed for finished carpentry.
Okay.
It doesn't give you bang on perfect 90. Like it's just you got to adjust it.
Yeah.
So there's something about that Axial Glide that's not 100,000% perfect. I think the rails are still perfect. But Bosch has the rails, and they also have the battery rails as well too. So
Sometimes, and Manny's gonna laugh about this. I got lots of DeWalt stuff. It's so basic and straightforward that anybody can use it, and
I think
that
the
makes a great.
DeWalt miter saw is probably the quietest saw I've heard.
Yeah, I have one. That's what I use right now. I don't even know what
I've
I'm
been
going to buy
using
next.
the DeWalt battery powered miter saw,
You have.
and it actually sucks.
I got the Makita one. It sucks. It
What
sucks
The
too.
DeWalt one's got 2 batteries that you got to feed on it.
Yeah.
If you do repeated cuts on it,
Yeah.
it fails. It stops. It actually stops cutting.
Really?
Wow.
So I get to look at it going, what, you can't keep up with the old guy? Is that what's going on here? So it actually it stops because it can't keep up with the repetitive cuts. I find that it's hugely back heavy. Hugely back heavy.
So what does that do?
It's like trying to do the hammer sledge thing at the amusement park. It's just like you're trying to bring that radial arm down to actually cut. You're feeling that battery weight, and it's just insane. I was like, this is ridiculous. I hate this.
How about the Makita? What did you have problems with?
I don't have much Makita.
No, but you said you had.
No, you were looking
the,
at it.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee,
10-inch battery one.
I did see today, because the trim guys started working at the Phoenix project there. I did see the trim guys bring up a 6.5, really cute looking Milwaukee battery miter saw.
Yeah.
$400.
Piece of shit.
And I was like, this is so cute.
Piece of shit.
I don't know
Did you
if
try
it's
it?
good. Is it shit?
It's shit. Everything's off.
What did you like? Oh,
Everything's
just
off, really?
Everything's
huh?
off. Everything's off, and even the cuts are off. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe the blade. I got a really thin blade on it, but everything is.
So you figure in today's digital age, why aren't we building miter saws that we can actually adjust micro right then and there?
China.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Did I say China?
Well, even the expensive, like the Festool miter saws. If you see anything, there's a lot of beef on them too. So I don't know if we got anything.
but
I don't know if we got anything perfect, right?
No, and I guess it's whatever tool works for you. But
Yeah,
I'm getting frustrated with having to adjust, or like you throw it into 0, you throw it into 22.5, you throw it into 45, and all of a sudden you got to throw it hard on the right or hard on the
Okay.
left to actually make it what you want it to be.
But a lot of times, it's not even the miter cut that's the problem. It's the wall.
It's the fence.
You know.
Yeah, it could be the fence as well too. I know. So there's a bunch of issues out there.
Yeah. Sorry.
And this show is brought to you by every tool brand out there.
So since we're already on this topic, what do you like for vehicle? Pickup truck, vans, trailers?
Did you not see on the driveway there or what?
That doesn't mean that that's the work vehicle.
No, that's my vehicle.
See? And again.
F-150. I like it. I've had.
Of course.
I've had 4 of them. They're good. For work vehicle, we got a Ford Transit.
And how do you like that?
So you go in the van,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense.
Sean wanted that. So that came about when I split into 2 crews. Jake took a pickup truck and a trailer, and which we originally had, and then I bought Sean the van.
And how's it working out?
The van is perfect. I think the van is ideal. So now we can go to tight spots and not worry about it. Mind you, the next van is going to be the longer one and the taller one. Right now, it's got
Ford also?
I think so. I don't have any preference for. I think they're all the same. They're all money.
Nice the
agree.
mileage.
All right, no, I agree.
Mileage. Yeah, you know. I don't know. I got my input on that, but it's just an expense. So you know what? If you're running a business, it's another fucking expense. So am I watching miles? I don't give a shit.
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen, I think that there's the service with the Benzes is more expensive than the service with the Transit. I don't know if you have fewer service visits with the Benz versus the Transit.
I don't have any service visits with my Chevy.
And you know what? I've been lucky too.
Express.
So the Transit now, I'm leasing it. It's used, and I've had 0 problems in 2 years.
It works
so
for you. It works.
You like the leasing?
I only did that because once again, when we split to 2 crews, it was new. I didn't want to buy right away because I wasn't sure what the hell's going on.
Good for you.
And then when Jake left, back to 1 crew. So we kept the Transit, got rid of the trailer. I like the trailer.
Yeah.
Too. But I had the trailer only because I was pulling it and then detaching it, using the vehicle as mine.
Yeah.
Right. But
So you don't miss the trailer?
I don't miss the trailer, no.
All right.
The trailer was nice. It had more room than the Transit. But, you know, it was always tough to pull, unhook.
Yeah.
But mind you, I bought a electric lift on it, so that was awesome.
Wow.
Anybody that has a trailer, buy an electric lift off of it.
Push a button.
Push a button, off it comes off the hitch. Because instead of sitting there cranking for fucking an hour.
I did airbags. So once you put the leg out, drop it, and, or pull it, air, right?
It's a $200 item. It's fantastic.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
We can either continue talking about Carlito, or we can focus on our guests at Wish.
Yes, Wish.
Wish, you've been in construction 12 years. Where do you think construction is going now with the new generation?
Yeah, good.
Is it going
question.
up? Is it going forward?
Good question.
Are we going backward?
I just hope we get enough guys, right? So I mean,
We still have that problem?
Well, I think it's always been a problem ever since the Europeans started immigrating, right? I mean, that's when all the trades and all the guys came in, and then after that,
everybody wanted to be into the glamorous life of different careers.
You know, well, look at the kids now. If it's not social media or gaming or anything like that.
But isn't construction glamorous today?
I think
is,
so.
yeah.
It's a viable business. I think, you know, once again, going back to that program, everybody that was in that program came to me and said, "You're going to do
Biscuit.
good wish. You're going to do good wish because everybody needs renovations."
Especially nowadays, everybody does. So I'm just that's why I'm thinking that it is glamorous. Mm-hmm. But there is a lot of cyberbullying going on,
Yes.
and we don't Why? Why is that going on?
Because of what's going on with the industry and the bad name we have. Used car salesmen, contractors, politicians, right? Right.
We're in that group?
I hope not. But how many people do? How many stories do you hear?
You always hear a negative
going
story.
back to homes on homes, right? I mean, all he did was fix fuck ups from contractors. Mind you, it wasn't always the contractor's fault.
No, you're right.
He never portrayed that, though. He was always portraying it as a contractor.
Also,
he always portrayed
there's two sides to that. A lot of times when you approach somebody, you get one side of the story. Eventually, the truth does come out, and sometimes you find out that it is the homeowner that's a problem, right?
And that was one of my goals when I first started. Because I did that, I said I'm just going to do the best I can. If somebody has a callback, I go stand behind it. Excuse me.
Want some water? Beer?
Oh, I'm going to finish that for him. He stands behind and just watches someone else fix it. No, just joking.
We all hate callbacks, but if I get a callback, we're there.
I hate
we're
callbacks.
We're there the next day. You know what I mean?
I have no problem going back.
But a callback shows who you are as a person, as a company owner.
Yeah.
When someone calls you and says, "Can you come and fix something that you did," and you realize it wasn't your work.
I love
it was someone else's.
I love that.
But you fixed it anyways because
that.
that's the kind of relationship you want to, create, right?
Your crew, what are the ages? How old's the how young?
26, 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
So hungry guys.
You're their dad, basically.
I'm their dad. They're my sons.
Yeah.
And you know what? I only have a daughter, so I even told them a few times, "You're the boys I've never had."
That's wicked.
Last year, I got them all to come out to play hockey with me too. That was awesome. So
it's wicked that they're so social.
That's important. That's definitely important in your business, right?
Yeah.
I find it interesting that you got all college guys. It's good to hear that you got guys that were hungry, that were already set in an early age that they wanted to be a tradesman in the trades. Mm-hmm. I think that's really important.
The college thing also takes off a little bit of hassle. I mean, once again, you don't know shit until you actually work in the field. But they now know measurements. They now know angles. They know how to use a miter saw, at least a table saw, and all that. So half that battle is gone. Right?
Yeah.
Any luck finding any women?
I had 2 women contact me earlier in the year. They never. I said, reach out. I got an email or even an Instagram thing, and I think it was Instagram, and call me, and they never did. That would have been curious. The guys were totally excited.
Were they?
That's wicked.
Yeah. I'm very interested in hiring women.
I'd have no problem with it. Put it that way.
I mean, I've never looked at it as a different. I'm not a caveman thinking that they can't carry their weight, they can't lift a certain thing. My mentality is like you shouldn't be lifting things all by yourself anyway. There's plenty of us on the site that we should be sharing the lift.
And it's funny because I was a caveman in my early years.
Still are.
Now that I'm getting older into my 50s, I'm now realizing that
crom.
Didn't matter how much of a horse I was in my 20s and 30s. I could be like 4 guys when I was in my 20s. Now I'm like, hey, can you come and help me? I'm now, I make noises now. I'm like, oh, and people are like, what's wrong? And I'm like, just breathing, guys.
Actually, that's what my boys do now. We're like, just the other day, we're carrying in a washer and dryer, and it's like, move, Wish, get out of the way. Thanks, guys. I got the door.
Don't scratch it.
That's funny. That is good. That's kind of good because I have a young guy working with me too, and I'm actually 2 years older than his dad.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always like, let me get that. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. Yeah, he's getting all the heavy shit. This is good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that.
And another thing, 6 degrees of separation. It's like Sean, who didn't know before that, but his aunt, I hung around with in my bar days. You know what I mean? And then Colin, his dad, is brothers of a guy I played hockey with for years.
Wow.
It's just... And Matt, I've known his dad for 30 years, 35 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been to his wedding type of thing, right? So it's funny. 6 degrees. You just
family.
It is family. It's so close. It's so...
But that's the vibe that I get that the clients actually see from you guys when they meet you for the first time and they start thinking, I could trust these guys.
I've had that comment too. You know what? I come in and the wife is home. She says, those guys are singing and talking and the music's always playing and they're having fun. They're chatting. They're talking about this. They have a good time. And I go, Yeah, I guess. I'm not here. That's why they're having fun.
So let's talk a little bit more about what you do. So what do you like to be known for? What's your trademark to your business?
Me, myself?
Yeah, like, are you known for trim work, doors,
Oh, yeah,
bathrooms, kitchens?
we are interior specialists. So I'm going to say we are kitchens, basements, bathrooms. We kind of tackle everything on our own, other than the trades. So I have an electrician, I have a plumber, I have a gas guy, I have a gas guy.
All the licensed guys.
Yeah, all the licensed guys. Yeah. We do our own tiling. We do our own trimming. We do our own painting. We do, hang all door. We do everything.
Plaster, drywall.
We do. I have a mutter, so
Okay.
I sub that out. But we hang.
I have a mutter too.
Yeah,
She's
And
at
a
home right
fada.
now.
but we did do our own mudding at one point. Sean was awesome at that, so I let him do it. But then when you realize, and once again, you look at it and you say, okay, we're doing a basement. You have 120 sheets.
Bring the guys in. Bring the
guy-
crew.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's important. I was just talking to one of my buddies, and he was working for another one of my friends. So he was a little bit short on work, had a falling out with another guy. So me being in the industry, I'm able to take good guys and put them with other good guys. And one of the things he said to me the other day, he was just unwinding to me. He said, I'm working for you, buddy. I think one of the problems he has is that he's got guys that are only good at one thing. And then he tries to keep them busy. And by keeping them busy, he's losing money. I think it's also important that your guys can't just do everything. Mm-hmm. So you can't just force them to kind of do something that they shouldn't be doing, right?
But that's how you build a business.
Yeah.
That's why
Absolutely.
I'm more interested in working with new crews and new teams and everything like that. I like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had luck with that. My luck has
Because
been...
you keep firing people. That's
Yeah.
why.
yeah.
I can't help it.
I think it's what maybe the TV show taught you or something like that.
No.
So we are talking to Wish, www.wishlist.ca, Wishlist Home Improvements. Wish loves wood at yahoo.com, 905-515-5148, and it's at wish_list_home_improvements. We got one last segment, Wish, before we kind of wrap things up, unless you got more questions there. You always have more questions.
I like talking more than I do asking questions.
I can't tell. Can we
one-
start this little segment first?
Can I just throw one thing in real fast? I thought it was really great that none of your guys smoked. And for the listeners...
How did you find that?
Yeah, well,
Luck.
this is... So,
Lucky as shit.
so this is what I look at when I see a cigarette smoker.
Here we go.
Lots of breaks, lots of excuses.
Yep.
A potential fire hazard.
Yep.
A spitter.
Yep.
Cigarette butts all over the place.
Yep.
I mean, if I go on about cigarettes, why do I want to have that in my environment?
Please
so I
don't.
think it's fantastic that you
Yeah.
have a clean crew that doesn't have those problems.
Lucked out. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw that in.
Yeah.
For you smokers.
Carlito?
Oh, this should be good. And the 12 questions.
It's like poking the bear or the monkey, whichever one it is.
It's monkey.
It's monkey. Wish, what is your favorite construction word?
Referral.
Ooh.
You know what? I love getting that phone call.
Very
and
well
said,
thought
hey,
out.
I got your name from so-and-so.
I heard you did an amazing job.
I love that.
That actually is
Fantastic.
that is really good.
I love referrals.
What is your least
Brilliant.
favorite construction word?
Call back.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What turns you on in construction?
Owning the block. I have about 3 streets where I've done 4 homes on them, and I love that.
That's a great feeling driving
It
on that.
is.
eh?
Yeah, you know what?
A little
It's like-
territorial, are you?
yeah.
Well, it basically, you left a great impression. It left it on somebody else.
Well,
Well,
that
they
mean-
shared it.
and-
That means the neighbors are talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. And I think lawn signage has a lot to do with it. Truck signage has a lot to do
yes.
with it.
T-shirts.
T-shirts and all that. So,
But you know what? You always have free parking because everyone likes you.
yeah.
What turns you off in construction?
I think I'm going to have to go back to the ESA inspectors.
Oh, you really had.
I just-
It's
you know
true.
what- you know how
they
many-
do come in thinking that they're all top
I
dog.
waited till 5 to 5 when the guy said I'll be there between around noon or something. I don't know. You know, it's too many times. And my next door neighbor is a retired ESA inspector.
Poor you.
Yeah. he was home. He was home at 1 o'clock every day, parked the van in the garage.
Oh my God. Can we do a podcast across the street?
Listen, I still need ESA inspectors to come onto my job sites.
Listen,
okay?
we're talking about the bad ones, not the good ones.
What is your favorite curse word? You don't have to express it.
George Carlin, fuck, piss, shit, damn cunt.
It's so true. Oh, for all you young guys, what is your favorite vehicle?
Oh, the new Corvettes. Love them.
You like the new
I
ones? eh?
love the 1920 Corvettes. Oh, just if I win a lottery, I'm buying one right away.
What color?
No. Let's say when you win.
Yeah.
What color are you thinking? What color do you get a new Corvette in? We kind of know the colors out of the old Corvettes,
Yeah,
but the new ones, I don't know what color you get.
I don't know.
Is it still red, or you get black? Or
A client we just finished. Actually, my insurance agent, he's got one white with the stripe down the center.
your insurance agent
we
has
just did.
one.
We just did. Yeah, I know. Eh?
You know,
No wonder my rates are so.
My
at
lawyer, my accountant, my insurance
At least he
agent.
hired me though for a job.
They
so
all
that
look
was
like
nice.
they run the Gran Torino.
Well,
Okay.
I do want to throw my 2 cents in there. Stingray 1972, baby blue with white interior. I love them.
Yeah.
There we go. What's your least favorite vehicle?
I think it's the Nissan Cube.
Oh,
that
yes.
stupid looking
The
box
back
thing
window?
with that
It
back
looks like a
window.
chocolate milk box.
But it looks like it's missing a panel on the
Something.
side, so it's all the window. I
It's
don't know.
missing a lot. That's what it's
Yeah,
doing.
I don't know. I don't.
What construction sound or noise do you love?
We don't use these much no more, but my Grex micro pinners.
Yeah, I still have one. 22, the 23. I mean,
Yeah, but you don't like
23. Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Well, I thought you had some problems
Mine's
with it.
I've never.
You know what? We don't use them because they keep jamming, and that was
mine's never jammed.
and I don't know how New Year's is, but the
3,
old,
4?
Well, yeah. So I've been through about 3 of them and got them repaired, and the problem was the striking
Really?
pin, so it just kept failing.
I like my
But
DeWalt's.
the noise of them was the simple one.
Yeah, it was tum tum tum. You can almost use it as a game on the job
Yeah,
site,
yeah,
just shooting
yeah.
people. There's no safety on
with
it.
a 23
I
gauge,
know,
I
I
mean.
Yeah, we tested it. You know, is there nails in there? I don't know. Yep, there it is.
Whoa, you got it. Okay. What construction sound or noise do you hate?
I got 2 of them, and the fine multi-master.
Any oscillating tool, really?
Yeah. The fine multi-master and really a tile and a tile saw.
Tile saw screams.
Yeah,
Screaming.
yeah. So
Screams.
anything really noisy like that, but yeah.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
NHL hockey player.
Wow.
You're the second one, I think.
Yeah.
Thing from Brafasco wanted to be.
Yeah,
remember?
he did. Yeah.
True
Yeah.
Canadian.
Stole my thunder, that guy.
What profession would you not like to do?
That's a good one. I don't know. Like everybody else says, possible office guy or something. I don't know.
9 to 5 or cubicle.
Maybe I don't want to be a priest. I don't know.
No, I couldn't be a priest.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. You know what? Yeah, I've always worked with my hands, so yeah, maybe an office job would be quite.
Office
boring.
job would be against you. And the final question: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, wish I got the wrong date. Sorry.
Oh, that was good.
Get the hell back down there.
Anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to share? We talked a lot.
We
I
did
hope a
talk
lot of young guys.
What-
I hope a lot of young guys are listening.
Give and this goes to any age, the best advice that you could give to anyone starting their business. How do you keep a business running successfully?
I think once again, get some experience first, as opposed to me, where I came in cold and all that. Not that I was a failure, just saying that helps. Get the people on your team. So that business plan that I did, I had to provide a lawyer, an accountant, whoever else, my suppliers, everything else. Get those people on your team. Know who you're dealing with. Learn how to quote properly. That's one of the things. You know, a lot of guys think, oh shit, you know, if I can do this and make $30 an hour, well, you're not making $30 an hour.
But they're not thinking about the losses that might come across.
well, or the expenses and
Yeah.
everything else. So you got to charge for
Or
it.
they'll forget this,
Yeah.
forget that, and
Yeah.
before you know it, you're not making profit.
And the other thing too, I think customer appreciation. You know, I mean, these are the people that are your bread and butter. They're the ones that. So, I mean, the gifts that I gave you. I mean, I have
Thank
other
you
ones.
again.
When I finish a job, I leave gifts with the clients. Thank you. Here's some wish list swag. You know what? I pay for referrals. The client refers me to a friend. If I sell the job, hey, it's worth a pair of nice shoes for you. You know what I mean? So
I guess I know who I'm going to give my next business to.
No, it's all those little things, man.
But I tell people, and they say, "Oh, you shouldn't have." I said, "No, it's not that I shouldn't have. I just want you to do it again."
You know what? You're a very smart man.
Yeah.
No, you learn from
you.
trial and error. That's all it is,
Yeah,
man.
and it is. Yeah.
But you're right. The younger guys should actually be paying attention to the steps that you've done.
Yeah.
And then take those steps even further.
And look for that help if it's available.
Always.
Yeah.
And always be willing to learn.
Yeah.
Because there's no way, and I'm sure Wish you're the same way. You don't know everything. You're still learning.
I am
every
still
single
learning.
day you
I am
still
still
learn.
learning. Absolutely.
Well,
So-
things are changing every day.
Yeah.
Construction is an industry that you can learn every single day, and you should be learning every single day.
I am a Schluter man, by the way.
Well, so are we.
Yeah.
And this show is definitely brought to you by Schluter.
This show is brought to whoever brings me money.
No, this show is brought to you by beer and the nice little deli tray here on olives.
Yeah, like I've mentioned to you before, I don't want to drink with you guys because it's like spinach, and then I start picking people up.
No, it's more like the wolf man. The wolf man comes out is what it is.
The hair starts growing on the back. Toenails get long.
Oh, I guess
It was
he's
a
not
pleasure.
sleeping tonight.
It was a pleasure, guys. And you know what? These podcasts are awesome. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wish. We really appreciate it.
Love listening
Thank
to
you,
him.
Biscuit. Where you at now? Oh, you're quiet now, huh?
It's looking for food.
Really appreciate it. Honestly, Wish, thank you so much for doing the show. I know you were a little reluctant at first, but I think we're harmless, and I think we are trying to do good and get more and more knowledge out there. So people are listening, guys are listening, girls are listening, and we want them to reach out. Guys, if anybody out there wants to be on the show, reach out to us, reach out to both of us, and speak to our past guests, and they're more than willing to.
It's not that hard.
No, it's fun. It's lots of fun because there's lots of booze. That's all it is. Anything else you got to say? Or are we out of here?
Oh, we're out of here.
We're out of here. Get us out of here. Wish, thank you so much again. So, find them. Wish list. Wish _ list _ home _ no. What is it again?
Whatever.
Whatever
Look
it
up
was.
wish
Yeah,
list.
whatever it was.
Look up wish list.
Wish list. You'll find them.
Yeah.
That's all it was. You'll find them.
Yeah.
Carlito, man, get us out.
905, right?
Yes, we are.
Burlington. Make your wish list.
Awesome.